Thank you for joining me for lesson 69 of Sefer HaMitzvos. Um, Lesson 69 is going to wrap up the volume of Mishnah Torah that those who are reading through Mishnah Torah have been going through. It's in two volumes. It's called Zmanim, and so this dealt with Shabbat, with the holidays, with Rosh Chodesh. Um, then we talked about Megillah and a little bit about Purim yesterday, and today we're going through Hanukkah, and so Hanukkah and Purim are rabbinic holidays, um, but they exist in order for us to be able to rejoice and also to publicize miracles that took place. The Purim is we there were um, the mitzvahs regarding Purim were to read the Megillah, to give charity, etc. These types of things, to feast, and it's a joyous time. For Hanukkah, we have the mitzvah to light lamps. As most people are familiar with, that's one of the more recognizable Jewish things that we do, and it's uh, it's it's really a time that we are using the mitzvah of lighting the lamps to publicize the miracle that was done when we were attempted to be wiped out as a people, but through losing our identity as Jews, losing our Torah, basically all the things that you read about in Daniel, that this person would rise up and they would change the times, the seasons, forbid the Torah, etc. These things almost all took place, but we fought back, and it was a very, just like Purim, it was a very dark chapter of our history, but that turned light uh, when we when we overcame that situation. Many of our festivals, we say they tried to kill us, they failed. Uh, let's eat. And so we light the Chanukiah, and by custom we light eight lamps, increasing in light each night rather than decreasing. Um, but the mitzvah is minimum to light one, and we place them in a place that can be seen, on the in a doorway, opposite the mezuzah, etc. There's You can read more about this in the description. You can read the full chapters dealing with Hanukkah. But one thing that I wanted to bring up is the Hallel. So the Hallel is a section of Psalms that we read, um, and we sing them. Here, this is coming up in Mishnah Torah, specifically at this point, when we're discussing Hanukkah. And so the sages instituted that we should say or sing the Hallel um, during times of extra celebration, um, particularly when a miracle took place. And so we say a blessing beforehand, that Hashem has commanded us regarding um, the Hallel, and also commanded us regarding uh, the the lamps, lighting the Chanukah lamp, and that those blessings are done because those are things that the sages instituted that we should definitely be doing, and since we're following, um, it's a biblical command to follow what the court says, then uh, because those were definite things that we were supposed to do, that according to the court, though we say, who has sanctified us by his commandments and has commanded us to recite the Hallel, or to light the lamps of Hanukkah. Um, so those are things that we do definitely. Anytime there's uh, um, something that we do that is a rabbinic um, ruling that we should do, but we it's not a definite thing that we should be doing that. It's done because of a doubt. Those are things that we don't say a blessing for. So there are differences between biblical commands, rabbinic commands, which we talked about yesterday. The mitzvah of reading the Megillah, the Book of Esther, was one of those rabbinic commands. Those are things that we should definitely be doing, and we recite a blessing. The things that we do because of a doubt, we do not recite a blessing. Okay, so it's interesting. Why don't we say Hallel for Purim? According to the Meiri, the reason why we don't say Hallel um, for for Purim is that we read the Megillah of Esther instead of doing the Hallel. That fulfilled the same obligation of celebration, of praise to Hashem, and to publicize what Hashem did for us. So that was given through the Megillah, and then we do um, this through the Hallel on Hanukkah. An interesting thing that the Mary said is that, and this is not an accepted thing that we do generally, but it kind of makes sense, is that if for some reason we couldn't do the Megillah, then for whatever reason we don't have one to read, etc., then we should be saying the Hallel, and presumably he means with a blessing, because the reading the Megillah just kind of took the place of the Hallel in that case. So very interesting. So that finishes out the book of Zmanim. Uh, the actual biblical command that we're talking about today is kidushin, of basically a marriage, the mitzvah to marry. So this comes from Deuteronomy 24:1, which says, "When a man takes a wife and is intimate with her." So it's a mitzvah for a man to marry a woman through kidushin. This is through three methods. So kidushin means like sanctification. So number one, the man gives the woman an object of value for the purpose of marriage. This is generally today a ring. And there are customs regarding rings and these things, but those are customs. So the main thing is that it's an object of some value. It's even halakhically, it's not even all that much value. So you got to be careful, husband or future uh, or men who hope to marry a woman. You're giving gifts to her. You got to be careful because you might accidentally be marrying her. Uh, Number two, uh, there's the second method or way that we do kidushin is the man gives the woman a marriage contract, so the kasuba, and it's written or it says, with this document I am marrying you. Okay, so the marriage contract, and then finally, three, through the man being intimate with the woman. And that is implied in the verse, and is intimate with her. So those are the three things: an object of value, contract, and being isolated with his wife. At that point, they are seen as being halakhically married. The those things, there used to be some space, some time between those steps, but now we wrap them all up and do them all together at one time. So that's the mitzvah of marriage. And one thing that I want to just address real quick. Obviously, it's a mitzvah unto itself to take a wife, and to give her the rights of a wife. Um, but uh, Judaism is very concerned with building families, and so that is obviously the main goal of marriage, is to build a family, or at least to facilitate the possibility of the creation and building of a home and a family. And a lot of the things that we hear in the world, debates regarding, who can get married, who can't, etc. Um, Judaism sees this as the point is, or not the only point, but a really big part of starting a marriage is to start a family. Um, all right. I'm sure we'll get more into that as we get a little deeper into these kinds of things. But thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day in every way. Bye bye.